Hello, my fellow knee sufferers. Today I want to talk about how long you should wait to get knee replacement and if you really need knee replacement. There's a lot of variables. Us really active people want to get our life back really bad, but that's not a sole reason to get the knee replacement surgery. You want to push it out as long as possible. The great majority of you probably have osteoarthritis, which is causing a lot of pain. But just a heads up, I played a lot of sports and put up with a lot of pain for about 10 years with my arthritis, and I had some previous sports injuries before I was willing to do the surgery, because you can do more pre-surgery. With arthritis, even if you're close to bone on bone or bone on bone, you can still do those things. It's going to hurt. You're going to have to ice. You're going to have to go to physical therapy. You're going to have to get cortisone injections and take all kinds of drugs, go to physical therapy. I recommend doing all that stuff and waiting as long and as old as you can wait. I'm almost 66 and I'm 4 years and 6 years post-op on both knees. And I've had fantastic results. And a lot of people, something like 5 to 20%, aren't happy with the results after, because I think they went in too early. But my injuries weren't arthritis, although I had arthritis. I tore an ACL in one knee, I tore meniscus in both knees. So I had 2 surgeries before my knee replacement in this knee, one meniscus repair in this knee before I went for the total knee replacement. So I was bone on bone, needed the surgery really bad, and I'm glad I waited. But I have a really high tolerance of pain, so my results have been fantastic. I was starting to not be able to do the things I like. So mine were total bone on bone. Some people have partial bone on bone, just one compartment, and those people should get just that compartment repaired. Don't do the whole knee replacement. The results have been better. And something like 5 to 20% of people aren't happy because they either go in too early because they don't know what pain is. This surgery isn't easy. It hurts. But I was in so much pain. Finally, it was time for me, and my results have been fantastic. But my lifestyle had a lot to do with me needing to get this. I've spent a lot of time out here. I climb mountains, I backpack, I walk 5 to 10 miles a day. Here's my last week's worth of walking. And it's mental health too, getting outside and moving around. So quality of life, what your job functions are. If you have a physical job where you need to do things and get down on your knees, I can get down on my knees. A lot of people say they can't do this because it hurts. I had a physical job where I worked in landscaping type businesses, irrigation repair. I'm also a certified arborist. I use my body a lot, and just conditioning myself to get used to those things helped me a lot. Unfortunately, some people, it's actually the cost. You got to make sure you have good insurance, because you're going to need a lot of physical therapy besides the surgery too. And one thing a lot of people don't talk about is pre-surgery preparation. This will help you greatly. Get ready, get all your muscles worked out. Yeah, I know it hurts, but try to walk normally, see a physical therapist, and try to lose weight. I've lost 60 pounds, and my knees are happy. And take that stress off your knees. It's better to do that before surgery. I did a lot of it after my first surgery. My second one was so much easier in recovery because I had lost all that weight. So just do the preparation before surgery and get all those muscles strong. And ask yourself, are you a person that needs to move around a lot, or are you not willing to do the work? Maybe you shouldn't get the surgery. But for me, it was the right thing. Always get good quality shoes. Those are very important. Those are your shock absorbers. So spend the money on good shoes. I'll ask your physical therapist about that kind of stuff. And again, do I really need the surgery? Things that are going to tell you you need the surgery. You can't do the activities you need to be able to do for your job, or things you do for your hobbies, things that you like. You can't sleep at night. There's pain all the time. I had that too. And I was seriously bone on bone. It was time in both knees. So it was no doubt for me, but if it hurts all the time and you're constantly icing and constantly just thinking about your knees, it might be time. But again, everybody's different. I have a really high tolerance to pain. I mean, I've had 9 knee surgeries. My wife was my nurse, and she had to sneak in my pain meds into my food to get me to take the pain meds, because I hate to take drugs. But another thing you need to remember, when you have bad osteoarthritis, you can still do stuff. It's going to hurt. If you're in sports leagues, basketball, softball, things like that, which I did, you can still do those things, but it's going to hurt. After surgery, I really can't jog anymore. I can. I choose not to do high impact things. I gave up skiing, which I love, but I don't want to blow it out. But I hike and climb mountains and backpack and walk pain-free, no swelling. I did have to run 3 miles a couple weeks ago. I dropped my wife at work. You know, now they have those fobs for cars, and when I dropped her off, she had the fob in her purse. I went to the Costco gas station and turned the car off. Couldn't start the car. It was 3 miles. I'm in the lane to get gas. I had to jog 3 miles home to get the extra fob to move the car. But my knees didn't hurt. The muscles around my knees that weren't used to doing that jogging ended up hurting. So just a heads up, you got to give up some things and think hard about this and put it off as long as you can, because I think the people that are dissatisfied realize it still hurts and the rehab's really bad, but it takes about a year. I was snowshoeing like 6 weeks after my second knee replacement surgery, but that's me. I was so used to the pain, but I have my life back. And personally, in my experience, I'm very satisfied, and I don't have swelling. I don't have pain, absolutely no resting pain, no sleeping pain. Wasn't magic. Don't think it's going to be a magic thing where you just do it and you wake up okay. There's 6 months of rehab, probably takes about a year to get pretty functional. But to get that good range of motion, I have great flexibility. I pushed it a lot. I did all the therapies, and you got to move around, get in shape, helps. And if you're not willing to do that work, maybe you're not a good candidate for the surgery and you're going to be dissatisfied with it. But again, get those drugs. I hate taking the drugs. I hated the cortisone shots, but they did probably postpone me a couple of years of having to replace surgery. So hopefully they'll last me the rest of my life, but you can go and get revisions done. Like I said, I'm 4 and 6 years in. Totally happy with my knee replacement surgery. I'm not a doctor. I play one on the internet, but no, I'm just telling you my personal experience, and just a warning, very high tolerance of pain. And I have friends that have had hip replacement and knee replacement surgery. They said the knee replacement surgery is way worse than the hip replacement. So there's work to be done, but I am so happy. I'm out here in my beloved Sierra Nevada. I can do whatever I want, whatever I choose to do. There's certain, I can do those other activities like running, but I want my knees to last longer, so I choose to walk instead and do other activities. So life is good. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments and I'll check them out. And again, good luck on your journey. The great majority of people who have just had osteoarthritis and didn't have other injuries, and they're bone on bone and wait long enough time until they're old enough, are very satisfied. But there is a percentage of people that aren't. So make sure you talk about this with your doctor and your physical therapist. But for me, it's hike on, baby, and life is good. My quality of life is back, and I'm so happy. So hope you have the same results. Thanks for watching.